We have nobody coming.
Hey, what is up, Jay Bourne? How we doing?
I am doing fantastic. Welcome to Victory Thursday for the teams out there that won.
Yeah,
How are you doing,
buddy.
Ferrer?
Yeah.
Did the Steelers win?
NFL teams or fantasy?
Both. Did the Steelers win?
We don't lose, man.
Huh. I don't know they even played. I just know they're dirty.
Sunday night football. Okay, we do lose because obviously we're not undefeated, but yeah. Well, dangerous spot this week. The Steelers tend to lose a game that they're not supposed to, and this week they're at Houston, so you could see them stubbing their toe.
Oh, yeah. Let's hear a word from our not sponsors, but maybe in the future, Garage Beer. Small batch brewed, but delicious.
Garage beer,
Mhm.
beer.
Perfect for a fantasy league podcast.
Awesome. Yeah. See, that's the theme this week, hence the song. You gotta have high hopes. All right. Like Castleberry, we might be reaching one of our lows, but it's early, a lot of season left.
Castleberry hit the red button and they're selling low. I got a feeling. The flames are flaming out.
I am not going to confirm or deny anything there, but if some folks would, text back or have a little bit more interest in trading, I don't want to say they could take advantage of me, but I'm very open-minded with my team right now.
Ferrer, do you have anybody that you want out of anybody? Is there already a certain player?
Honestly, I don't think there's somebody's from Walt team that I wouldn't mind having, but I don't think there's someone from Rob's team I wouldn't mind having. So I mean, I'm sure there's probably like somebody from everyone's team that sure I wouldn't mind having, but
Oh, yeah. I
I'm
mean,
not
anybody's better than the record that you got.
I'm not actively like over the summer. I was actively trying to get Dobbins from Matt, and I'm just glad that he chose to ignore those. Like that was, whew, dodged a bullet there.
Do
But
you think that you messed up free agency?
I haven't thought I haven't thought about it like that, and I don't think I've fully messed up free agency. I've just gotten a little bit unlucky early on.
I mean, you don't think signing Danny Dimes and Mac Jones, you could have got a Devontae Adams. I mean, he was out there, a little bit older, but I mean, productive. I mean, you went for non-productive players. I mean, if you look at your team, your wide receivers are Amari Cooper's hurt right now, and we're hoping as Brown fans that he does good. But right now, they suck. I mean, let's not sugarcoat this. Your team is the second lowest scoring team.
Yeah, they're underperforming. There's plenty of talent all around. They're underperforming and banged up. I haven't had one of my top running backs.
I mean, my top running back, you know,
Yeah,
for
he's missed 1 week.
everything.
He's missed one more week. Eckler's missed a couple of games. You've just gone once without Chubb.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So we're almost even there, but not quite yet.
Hmm.
Mm.
Excuse
Yeah.
me. You want to dive into the last week's roundup?
Last week's recap. There was, dare you say, like a shocking upset, or there were some good games and some good matchups, some high scores. Unfortunately for myself, probably have to take a shot. Lowest score of the week.
Ooh, hurts.
Yeah, I laid an egg against you. That's all right. I mean, let's just probably start there, right? I know it's you and I's matchup, but it wasn't very close. So
I mean, in all honesty, did you really lay an egg? because the week before you scored 137, and the week before that you scored 98. So you're kind of almost in between there. Is that where your team stands? Between the 108, 115?
No, that should be bare minimum. I mean, I was projected 130, but Derrick Henry gets me 2 points. Again, I'm without Austin Eckler. It was a tough week for me. I made a really great acquisition, getting Andy Dalton, throwing him in the lineup.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good move.
Just
Your
Adams
team would have
8.
been really hurting.
Yes, that was a tough one. You kind of left the door open for me a little bit. CMC was only able to get a 20 piece Thursday night, so I thought maybe I had a chance.
But that boy came out, Devontae Adams, and said, "Yeah, I don't think you're going to win this one."
Yep, yeah, you couldn't put Ryder in the lineup or Ritter. That was man, I had to put a Jayborn.
Why would I put Ritter in the lineup?
Yeah, why not? It's going against Detroit. You're cocky. I thought we talked about you don't need to set your best lineup against me, but it looks like you had to.
That's fine. Let's
Can while we're talking about last week's recap, and we have to talk about that trade, right? Or are you wanting to wait until we're done with all of the last week's matchups? But we got to talk about your trade.
Why do we got to talk about it?
It
Do you want
happened
to
last
talk
week. We
about it right
haven't.
now? Yeah, we can talk about it. Go ahead.
Oh, you're nervous. It sounds like you don't want to talk about it.
I'm not nervous.
So what happened all off season? What happened to this? Greg needs to stop getting picks from people. And what do you do? Who do
Oh,
you
I traded them a late first rounder. Yeah, 100%. I didn't give up when I'm a legit 1-1 pick. I mean, I just didn't give it up. I mean, nobody on Donald right now. I mean, if you want to talk about it, Donald had the first pick this year, right? Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, trades it to Greg. Greg gets Bajan, whatever his name is, and he's off scoring 20 points a week right now. It's like Saquon Barkley. Donald has no good running back, and he could have used him.
Saquon was Rob. That was Rob's doing
I
there.
know. Yeah, 100%.
You're saying because it's probably going to be pick 8, 9, or 10 that it doesn't matter.
It's going to be pick 10.
Because
That's
you got
why I made the trade. And here's another thing. So I've tried to trade. I've tried to, and
I don't remember you hitting me up.
I've asked you before we talk on podcasts, everything else. Oh, I like my team. That's what you tell me. So it's like, okay, well, what do I do here? You
You didn't
know?
offer me a first for a running back. There was
I want a first for Derrick Henry. No,
wow, but you'll do Camara. Wow.
100%. Kamara's way better in late season than Derrick Henry is. I think Kamara's beat me twice in the playoffs.
I was gonna say that's what you remember. Is he
Yeah,
better late
yeah,
season or does he
100%.
have one big game? Wasn't like a 5 touchdown game in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's fine because I feel like Kamara kind of puts me over the hump. He's a catcher, he's a runner, he's everything. They're gonna need him bad. So I don't really like Tennessee's offense. They're kind of one dimensional, and when the running game fails, they lose. It's like they lost the Browns.
You think this is also trying to get to a championship this year, a little bit addition by subtract, or 2 for 1, I guess. Greg's your biggest competition. Now you're taking away some depth and a running back from him.
I thought about that too, but in all honesty, it's because nobody will trade with me. Everybody's scared to trade with me. So I go out and, I've done a bunch of people this offseason. I've asked them, and sometimes I've never even gotten anything back. So it's like, okay, well, what do you want me to do? You forced me to go make a deal with the devil. Not my fault. Donald sends me a trade last week that I'm like, what? But it's after I made my trade. So it's like once he wants Josh Allen, and it's like, hey, that's kind of funny. Oh boy, ain't giving up Josh Allen, best quarterback in the league.
So that does give you, that's now 4 4-year deals,
Yeah.
right?
Well, 2 of them or 3 of them drop off after this year.
Yes, yes. I just need to update that part of the spreadsheet that show
Mhm.
you got all 4 4-year deals. But yes, you are right. Yeah, McCaffrey and Kamara do come off. So all right,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
here's, I mean, since we're talking about it, I gotta put it out there and just make sure the listeners know. Please do not let Greg trick you into his two back end first rounders, picks 8, 9, 10, whatever they may be, to get up to pick 1, 2, or 3. Please don't let the rich get richer that way.
I mean, Ferrer, what's your view on it? What do you think that I could have done?
So I, you got cut, you lost the first, but you did get back your second.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you don't really value your first since it's a late, you shouldn't really value your second since it'll be a late.
Well, I mean, it's just a pick just in return, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's
Have
huge.
one pick, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that is good to get that back. Yeah, I was shocked, but I think if you really do look at it, obviously it's going to depend what Greg does with that pick, who it turns into.
We literally talked about it right whenever we got off our last podcast, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, I need a running back to compete with him.
Did you propose it to him?
Yeah.
Was there any counter, or was that the proposal?
Uh,
Was there some back and forth?
I think he countered, but it wasn't. It was quick. He wanted the first. He wants off Kamara's deal next year. He ain't gonna sign Kamara. He's got too much he needs, and is what it is.
Well, there's no deal. Kamara's on an expiring deal, right?
Well, I mean, next year he's not gonna sign him,
Yeah, yeah,
so he gets a first for it. He gets somebody for 3 years for free, and you know, I get my chance at a title. And in no shape or form has anybody traded with Greg with a first 1-1 that's gonna contend.
yeah.
So I mean, like I said, what am I supposed to do at that point? Nobody will trade with me, you know. There's only so many running backs out there. I literally lost my best running back to a dirty play.
Yeah, it's very valid points about the potential of trade options and whatnot.
I mean, looking at Greg's team, Kamara was a starter. This week he'd be in the lineup.
Yeah, it's just tough because I'm going through previous drafts and Greg does not really miss
No.
on his picks. If we go back, I mean, he had pick 8 and 9 in 2019, AJ Brown, TJ Hawkinson. 2020 was Tua, and that was pick 10.
Yeah.
2021, pick 10, Jalen Waddle. 2022, pick 9, Christian Watson.
Yep. They kind of just fall right into him.
Right? At what point is it the league just swinging and missing on some guys, and or they're just like kind of a loaded class and somebody just happens to fall to Greg?
Well, to me, it was Guy Moore or Christian Watson. I mean, that's where I was at. And I'm like, Sky Moore's got Patty Mahomes for who knows how long, and Tyreek's gone. So, Aaron Rodgers only going to play a couple more years, and then he gets traded, and nobody cares.
Yep, yep. That's fair, no doubt about it. So it was exciting to see a trade. And yeah, if it were up to me, that wouldn't be the only trade in the month of September. I'd be making some moves, but I don't think, I've got like dog crap offers out there and stuff. I'm just curious, people say they'll check the spreadsheet and it's just like, yeah, how many days go by? Are we gonna,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing.
yeah. So
And I mean, playing devil's advocate here, Ferrer, do you blame me? That's what I kind of want to know. It seems like a couple people in the league blame me for doing it, even though I say that. Don't trade with Greg. But at the same time, what are you supposed to do? There's only Greg has almost all the running backs.
yeah, that's
I mean,
yeah. Yeah, unless you come to me. Yeah, you're right. I mean,
and
you're
I
right.
mean, do
You
you
can't
think that
blame me.
do you think that your season's over?
No, no. I'm in a must. I think it's a must win this week, and little teaser there. We'll get to that
Yeah.
later on. But yeah, you're good to keep knocking out some of these last week's
Keep
recap.
rolling, dude.
And
Ready to
I'm sure
roll.
the league is dying to hear how these power rankings are going to go. So last week, got to give it to Walt. Dropped 133, kind of kept it close, made the Mud Dogs sweat a little bit. Anything to take out of the Mud Dogs victory over the Sentinels?
Donald came out swinging. I think yeah, he was the highest point total of the week, wasn't he? Right?
The 158, it would have been, yep. Good, yep.
I hate to say it, but Walt's 133 would have beat only you.
Easy, easy.
I'm just saying. But yeah, I mean, Kirk Cousins has another great game. Ford has a good game. I guess what saved the Mud Dogs is Keenan Allen
No doubt. Yeah,
Look,
Burrow laid an egg.
again. Yeah. So I
Yep.
mean that's something to watch out for. I mean, Donald's two guys go off, and it seems like this year it seems like a couple guys go off and your team's good. I haven't seen a high scoring game yet. I mean, we used to have games in the 200-point range.
Right. Yeah, we're pushing 170s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keenan balled out. Yeah. I'm not sure if you're going to get that consistently from Pacheco. I don't understand the KC running back room if I'd want a Kansas City running back.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. Yes.
Keenan's not going to throw a touchdown pass every week, but Mike Williams did go down, so future looks bright for Keenan and maybe some other receivers with
But
the
usually whenever Keenan future starts looking bright, he gets hurt. So
yeah. Let's
have to keep an eye on that.
let's skip a couple and go down to Bolivar gets their first win of the season over the Turd Nuggets.
Did I call that last week? Or did I
Uh,
call the turd nuggets?
we I think we both did. I said if Aaron Jones doesn't play, Carolina's losing, and Aaron Jones did not play. Great showing for Bolivar. Mostly both QBs bought out. Zach Moss, you gotta be super impressed there if you're the Turd Nuggets. Jamar
Yeah,
Chase.
you had I don't have one for that, Brian.
I picked the Turd Nuggets.
Oh no, you had Aaron. Sorry, now I see it. You had Aaron and I had Fagan last week.
Yeah, if Aaron Jones was going to play, I was on the Turd Nuggets, but
Yeah.
in this case, we were.
And Zach Moss went off.
Yeah, he had a heck of a game. Jamar
Yeah.
Chase showed up. Justin Jefferson did his thing again.
Yeah, it was a pretty good looks like Jamar Chase balled out too.
How
I know.
exciting for Bolivar. CJ Stroud looking like the real deal.
Yeah, I mean, hasn't gotten hurt yet, unlike other rookie quarterbacks. He's looking pretty good. Now, what I would love to talk about and who I would love to have is this Puka Nakua. He looks good.
Yep, what a
Great
find.
pickup by Aaron. Great find, diamond in the rough there.
Yep, very end of free agency nominates him, and I went with Van Jefferson. I picked the wrong Ram receiver, so that sucked. That backfired.
Yeah.
Wide receivers,
Looking,
man.
looking at the Turd Nuggets, 0-3. Do you think they'd come out of this hole?
I don't know. They got a big matchup against Castleberry this week. I'm very much looking forward to previewing that here in a little bit.
Okay.
The other things it's going to say here, Turd Nuggets. I mean, dude, you got Jordan Love kind of balling out, Brock Purdy, some nice quarterbacks there on friendly deals. Flip side of it, Bolivar just continues being wide receiver U. They've got Jordan Palmer. I'm sorry, Joshua Palmer on the bench. And Palmer seems like the receiver to have with Mike Williams being out.
They said Quentin Johnson's going to get a lot more looks.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But I think Palmer is the one I'd rather have. Just because
Man, Marquise Brown's looking pretty good for you right now, huh? 14.6 points last week. 14.4 the week before. Man.
yeah, who would have thought? But that's all right. Let me to Eckler, and we'll just get Eckler to play. We'll be fine. All right. Should we talk about the lucky team of the year probably so far?
Lucky team of the year.
Yeah, Memphis 3-0. What is going on here?
You're calling that the lucky team of the year? I called it before the season started. I said Matt's got a good team.
It just seems so lucky.
How was it? Because he scored 41 with Mostert?
That could do it. Yeah.
You mean a Hail Mary from Russell Wilson to win the game?
Oh yeah, you got that last week. Jeez. Yeah, you're right. So thanks for proving my point. What happened in week one? Right? That's the week one would just be the Mud Dogs didn't show up. Yeah, man. Oh, Ayuk, 28 points. And yeah, that's got to be it, man. That Memphis is just the team of luck so far.
I mean, I wouldn't call it luck. I mean, if you look at it, Minshew's off his roster already. Rob has Patrick Mahomes, Diggs, and Travis Kelce. And it's whoever else he can plug in. But he's got Kenneth Walker too. Had a pretty good game last week. But
Madison showed up.
I mean, he had 15 points. I mean, he didn't score a touchdown, but yeah, 15 points. That's nice. But I mean, it's just he needs more. I mean, there's so many teams in the league and they just need more. His wide receiver room is not that great. Juju, he's got was it Nico Collins? Not a great wide receiver room, and not a great flex. It's hard to win without one or the other.
Teaser. I'm trying to help him there.
Oh, got ya.
Let's see if he listens to it.
But yeah, Memphis keeps on rolling.
And right, they just get so dang lucky. I mean, Fields not playing very well. And it doesn't matter. That's kind of the scary, dangerous thing. But like, dude, freaking Tutu Atwell, are you kidding me? Like you mentioned, Mostert, 4 touchdowns. What is going on?
Got guys hurt. People got to step in. Might as well move to our game of the week.
Yeah, the last one to talk about. And kudos, what a surprise. Look at Ben.
2-1 takes down the top dog in his division.
Is there an apology that needs to come out?
For me,
What? Boy, I mean, your thoughts on Ben's team and what he was doing this offseason weren't the prettiest of colors.
well, I mean, we'll see how the season plays out, but I still think it's going to play out how I think it is.
which is missing the playoffs.
No, not missing the playoffs. I think I had him in the playoffs before. But I don't see it as a championship contending team. I just don't.
And that's
And
what
I
I'm
mean,
saying. He just won the championship.
He loses Mike Williams, gone for the year. So somebody's got to step up on his team. And then Ferrer, if you look at his bench, I'm not seeing it.
Josh Downs could, but you're right. I'm not going to defend his bench, but what I will say is he might be able to add some pieces from my team that could strengthen his team.
Who?
Ben, he may be able to add some pieces from my team.
Are you saying that you want a first round pick from him for some pieces? Is that what you're saying? Are you in full rebuild mode or
Nope, nope. I am full change of scenery.
gotcha? So nobody's on the table,
Everyone's on the table.
but you're not putting them out there. I mean, who do you want gone?
I mean, you're making it sound like I'm just trying to sell pennies on a dollar. That's not it. I just want some fresh new blood.
I mean, are you willing to give up, let's say, Anthony Richardson?
He's on a taxi. Honestly, I didn't think about that. I forgot about him.
I mean, should you pull him off? I mean,
No, he's staying on the taxi.
what about Mims, dude? You got Mims down there. He's looking good.
Mim's gonna be nice. You're right.
Yeah, you gonna pull him off the taxi, help you out?
I don't think so. I think I'm looking at the trade to help me out.
You're looking to rebuild.
Looking to get some new pieces.
Okay, we're not gonna get it out of you, are we? Not not this early.
I mean, like you mentioned, people are available. To your point, maybe Anthony Richardson's a little untouchable. I didn't think about him,
Yeah.
but everyone else, it's like they flourish when they're not in Castleberry for whatever reason. They can't take the heat, maybe. So
Maybe the heat's cut off. They're just trying to get warm.
mm, so
Flame's burning a little low.
they'll play better on somebody else's team, so be it. If somebody's not playing good on their team and they want to again, dude, change the scenery. I'm not trying to like rebuild and just tank this. I'm just trying to get in some new blood, switch up some pieces.
So you would trade Eckler and everybody, huh?
Yeah,
Good to know. I wouldn't have traded for Eckler, but that's just
easy for you to say that now.
no, it ain't.
Yeah, he's better than Kamara, so that's fair. It'll be tougher.
When he's on the field.
Same could be said for Kamara when he's on the field.
When he's not in jail. You'll have that.
What a matchup. I mean, we go back to Zor. They drop 144 and it's not enough because Magnolia hits him with a 155. Even Tua's 4 touchdown game. Bijan doesn't do anything, gets 8 fantasy points, but Najee was 6. Like Najee's the one person I kind of want to try and trade for, but then also I should know. I don't know if Najee's very good or like the steal. Like you want to. Oh, I don't feel good about that. So I don't think that change of fantasy scenery. I'm not sure. I know Ben has Chuba, so I was like, oh, do I trade him Miles Sanders? Just give him the Carolina backfield.
For Najee Harris, the starter.
Just in general, start trade talks. I don't know, but
Oh.
does Greg have? I wouldn't say it's much of a problem, but dude, Chris Godwin, he's getting hit by Baker. You know, that's Mike Evans and pretty much it in Tampa. I don't think you want Godwin. And then Dotson, very much underperforming.
For right now, yeah, but I mean, he picked up Randall Moore. He drops a 14-piece dime. Waddle's hurt. He'll be back. He'll be fine.
It's a lucky 14 piece from Rondell. It's he played his lowest snap
Watch
percentage
me
of the
sneak that
year.
in there.
Yeah. He had 8 receiving yards, dude. I mean, come on.
Ah, you'll have that.
It's a lucky. He does get Christian Watson back, so there you go.
Yeah. I mean, he's gonna be fine wide receiver wise.
But yeah, shout out. I want to make sure give the kudos to Ben for a nice win.
Way to
Great.
take Greg down.
Yeah.
13 week.
So it's the perfect spot. Anything else you want to say about last week before we transition to the power rankings going into this week?
I don't think so. I think I'm good. You want to roll into trivia or do you want to roll into the power rankings?
The way the pod has been going is we do the recap that now gives us the your power rankings into trivia. But if you want the trivia first, yeah, so it's up to you.
Are you telling me that it's morphin time? It's time to tick some people off? Is it power rankings time? Do.
Power
Mm.
rankings.
Oh, power rankings. You gotta love the old power rankings.
I haven't taken my vitamins yet today, so this week's power rankings are brought to you by some multivitamins,
What kind?
adult multivitamin gummy.
Oh, nice.
Happy, healthy life, which
Good.
sounds like some people aren't going to be so happy here in these power rankings.
Let's start her off for air. Number 10, keeping the
Was,
number 10 spot down.
was more research done this week than last week?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It
Nice.
wasn't just put on the spot. I actually sat down and looked. So with number 10, we have who do you think for air?
Well, you said that part is gonna. I interrupted you. You said that part stays the same, holding it down again. I'm assuming is
Walt.
right.
Yep. Walt at number 10. I'm not sure where you were last week, but you come in at number 9.
Wow, I dropped from 5 to 9.
Yes. Let me explain why.
Comical.
I thought for sure your team at this point in time would put up some sort of a fight. And right now you're coming in at 384 points. 384. Oh,
Against
sorry.
me. Against me.
344.
Yeah.
344. Sorry, my glasses are a little fogged. 344 points for air. The person below you is Walt with 300 points. Everybody else has scored more points than you. Everybody. You are low, low, low. Not looking good. I think you're right. I think it's time to make some changes.
Right? Like there's just I can't wait around for everyone to be healthy.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
long season. I'll make the playoffs, but I just some change.
It ain't looking good. Unless you make some moves. Coming in at number 8, we got the Fat Chairs. They've scored a little over 20 more points than you for this season.
Okay, so Rob stays the same. He was 8
Uh,
last week. He's 8 this week.
uh, at number 7, we got the Turd Nuggets. The Turd Nuggets have scored 6 less points than Rob, but I feel like they have more potential once Jonathan Taylor comes back. 0-3, but I feel like, our division, look at it.
Okay, so
3-0, and then everybody else has a losing record.
Fagan loses, but goes up 2 spots in the power rankings.
Yes. Yes, potential wise, yes.
Oh, potential.
Isn't that crazy?
It's his weekly power rankings.
Yeah, and weekly, I think he's better than you. He scored more points than you.
Okay. Well, I'll be able to prove you wrong this week when we face each other.
You've had 384 against you.
I hear
He's
you.
had 419 points against him. You're going to come up against them big dogs that are going to come beat you down, and it's coming.
Okay.
They're coming. So you're going to have to do something here.
I'm not fully disagreeing. Who's six in the power rankings? This, I'm assuming, will be a change from who was six last week.
Oliver Bulldogs.
Aaron moves up a spot.
I got the Oliver Bulldogs at number 6. At 5, I have Ben.
What?
Yeah. I got Ben at 5. What was Ben last week?
He was six.
Yeah, so Ben's moved up a spot. He beat Greg and moved up a spot.
He scores
Way to
the
go, Ben.
second most fantasy points of the week,
Yep.
beats the champ, and
Yep.
just moves up from 6 to 5.
Yep.
Wow. These
Just the beginning of the year, Ferrer. Calm
it's
down.
weekly rankings.
So
Weekly
what?
power. It's weekly rankings.
You'll
Wow.
have that. At number 4, we have the Mud Dogs. Maslin. What were they at last week, Ferrer?
4.
Oh, staying the same. Good job, Donald.
Yep,
Even though you had the most points of the week, you're staying where you're at.
Yep, I'm gonna assume the rest stays as well. This is ridiculous.
3 comes the Mustangs. Boom. 3-0. Keeping it rolling. Ferrer says that they're lucky. So far, they've scored a whopping 424 points. 424 points. They've almost scored almost your average over you with 3 games in. After this week, if you drop another egg, oh boy, they're going to be a whole game ahead of you in the points bracket. At number 2, we have Zor. Caesars.
Okay.
Greg loses Kamara. Loses a little bit of his power. A couple guys hurt in the wide receiver zone. And at number 1, we have the Sasquatches. The old Osnaburg Squatches. Coming in at number 1. Numero uno. Back on top. We got Kamara. We're feeling good. We were a little bummed about Nick Chubb the week before. It happens. We're moving forward. We got a new general. We got a new captain. We're stoked. We're ready to roll. Cooper Kupp's coming back here in a couple weeks. That'll drop probably Garrett Wilson off my lineup. And we'll have Cooper Kupp and Alvin Kamara starting. Feeling dangerous. Woke up feeling dangerous.
That's kind of, oh my goodness. I don't know where to start. I feel like there's so many flaws in these rankings now.
Why? Last week, you literally pushed it on me just minutes before the show, and you said I did a pretty good job. Now this week, I actually took time, looked at stats, looked at different things, and because you dropped way down, because your team literally blows, can't score, they scored 108 points. I mean, they don't show up.
I'm not disagreeing with mine. Who
are you disagreeing with?
You make it sound like for some folks, it's their potential on the year. For other folks, it's what guys coming back in a few weeks. For some folks, it's this is what they did last week. This is where they're at now. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, this doesn't seem like it's a level playing field for your weekly power rankings.
Well, that's why they're not your weekly power rankings in their mind.
Well, they're going to lose credibility if you keep giving different parameters.
I've only done 2. And the first week it was literally just thrown at me.
What
This
if I
time I actually I sat down, I looked at it. I'm looking literally, okay, Ferrer, I'm looking at the schedule here. The Turd Nuggets have you this week. You can't score, so it's probably going to be a win for them. Then they get Taylor back.
what does
So
that have to do with power rankings for right now in the season?
it has everything to do with power rankings.
You're talking about getting Taylor back. Like that's not happening yet. Your power rankings should just be what happened last week.
I'm going off the Turd Nuggets getting a win this week. An easy win.
That should reflect your power rankings next week.
Well, it reflects them this week.
It's ridiculous.
Okay, if you want me to go week to week with the games, I can go week to week. But
It's your weekly power rankings, right?
it is, and that's who I feel like the teams are right now. If anybody wants to show out with their team, if anybody can score over 158 points, it'll change.
So this isn't your weekly power rankings.
This is more or less my actual first power rankings.
These are your power rankings for the rest of the season as of right now.
For right now.
For the rest of the season.
No, people's going to get hurt. I mean, things are going to change. It happens.
So it's not for the rest of the season, but you just said, I'm going to get Cooper Kupp back. Fagan's going to get Jonathan Taylor back.
Yeah. I made a big trade for Kamara. I think that puts me over Greg. I can't help it.
Yeah.
The Kamara trade was last week. So I'm adding it to this week.
And you're also adding Fagan getting Jonathan Taylor back, which hasn't happened yet. Who knows when he's coming back? If he's coming back.
I'm just going on the future. I'm sorry. I'm looking at everything. I'm looking at points scored. I'm looking at points against. Fagan's got a little bit of an easier schedule coming up. Bolivar, I think, is going to start hitting their stride here. What do you want from me?
This is what I want from you. Think of it as in college football, polls come out every week.
This ain't college.
Based on results that happen.
This is for money. Real money.
You not understand what I'm saying?
I do understand what you're saying. But they're also not your power rankings, and you're mad that you're number 9.
No.
And I can see it in your face.
What if I'm saying I think Greg should be lower?
Where should Greg be?
I think some folks should be higher.
Who?
I think Ben at 5 is too low. He just had a hell of a week.
So where do you want me to put him? You want me to just knock him over Greg because Greg lost? Just because Ohio State, if they would have lost to Notre Dame, they might get knocked down a couple, but they don't go all the way down to 20.
But they'll probably be below Notre Dame, who's undefeated.
Maybe. Sometimes in college football, teams aren't.
I don't understand.
Sometimes Alabama at number 1 loses to a number 20 team, and they go down to number 6.
Exactly. They drop more than one spot.
Greg's been top dog for how many years? You want me to just drop him down because he loses a game?
Drops more than one spot.
What do you want? Where do you want him at?
We have an undefeated Memphis team.
Okay.
We have a team that just beat him at 2-1, and yet you have Greg ahead of both of those teams.
Okay. Because I think he's better.
Okay.
So that's what I'm supposed to go on, right? Or do you want me to go off of record?
That's what I'm asking. I'm trying to figure out what you're going off of. You're going off of like future potential. I'm just trying to give the listeners an understanding.
Mostly I'm going off of points scored. That's what I'm going off of.
It's always something different you're going off of. Okay.
Matt has scored 424 points. Greg has scored 433 points. Matt's had one more point scored against him than Greg has. And you want me to just, Greg has one bad game, and you want me to just toss him down to number 5? Like, what? Doesn't even make any sense. Greg is literally leading their division in points.
But yet second in the standings.
Yeah. I'm also at 433 points. I'm at 433 points, 0.64. He's at 433.45. So what do you want here? I don't know what you want. You thought you were being slick and just let's just throw Greg down, but yeah, I'm number one team. Screw Greg, but I don't know what you want because Matt's number 3. He scored 424 points. He's third in how many points that he scored. The Mud Dogs are at 405 and the Monarchs at 402. So I'm staying consistent with the points 4. The only where it gets hairy is down here where the Turd Nuggets are 0-3, and you have 1 win. Fat Chairs has 1 win. The Bulldogs have 1 win. There's some room there. I can kind of move it around. I mean, that's what I'm looking at. I mean, the only one that literally is last is Walt, and he's in Division B. Everybody else in Division B is ranked 1 through 6. I mean, you've had a couple division games, and you can't even win them.
Score update. Lions about to go up 14-3 on Green Bay in the first quarter. Yikes.
Jordan Love's a comeback guy.
Lions look good. All right, you ready for trivia time?
Ready.
Okay. This week's trivia question. When's the last time we had 2 teams start the season 0-3?
2020? Or would it be 18?
Oh, it is 18. Dang, look at you, Jayborn. Nice.
Trying.
2018. Who were the 2 teams? Do you know that?
Was one of them Chris's brother?
No.
Okay, I'm not sure then.
I'm looking at one of them.
Me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, see, I am where you can come from anywhere, guys. I'm a success story. You go from the bottom and you build it up. Just what you got to do.
You want to know the other one?
Do.
They also crack your top 4 weekly power rankings.
Donald?
Yeah. Donald.
Oh,
You and Donald were both 0-3 in 2018.
hats off to us, Donald. Started from the bottom, now we're here.
And guess what?
You were number 1?
You both won the next week.
Huh. So, do you think Walt's going to win this week?
I'm not saying
Find
that.
out.
I'm not saying that, but isn't that something?
That is crazy.
To just finish that off, in case anyone was wondering, Donald was 0-3, and then he beat myself in week 4 to get his first win of the season. Jayborn was 0-3, and he beat Chris to get his first win of the season. For what it's worth, Jayborn finished that year 4-9. And Donald finished that year 8-5. Hell of a turnaround. That was my first loss of the season. Yeah. So how about that? Pretty interesting stat right there. Pretty neat.
Coming back from a cold, Frere. I had to sneeze.
Well,
Sorry.
bless you. Bless you. So yeah, that's interesting stuff there. And I think we have a game of the week that we could probably agree on and talk about last. I know it's your matchup, but we usually start with Walt, and let's just get what should be the ass kicking of the week over with. Osnaburg and Alliance. Are you nervous?
We're not a game of the week.
I
That's
see the grin
crazy.
in your face there. It's cute.
Am I nervous? No. Looks like Walt's got 1.4 points right now. No, I'm not nervous. Oh, I'm kind of excited actually. I'm kind of excited. I got I wouldn't say it's a give me game, but I'd say it's a good game because after this week I get Cooper Cup back and I can kind of see what my team can actually do. Kamara gets a game under his belt. So should be a pretty decent week here.
Yeah, your roster looks very nice.
Thank you.
You said CD Lamb's on the block. What are you looking for?
I am looking for. I'd like a first for him.
On an expiring deal?
Well, you get the rights to him.
Wow, and that's worth a first.
Yeah. And whatchamacallit, he's a tier S player for Dynasty. So
What does S mean?
it means that it's one of the best picks that you can make if you start a Dynasty League this year.
Wow. A first for CD on an expiring deal.
I'm not saying I'd just take a first. I'm willing to negotiate.
That could be why some people don't want to trade with you.
Well, like I said, I'd like somewhere around a first, because I think that he's worth it. I really do. Yeah, he's on an expiring deal, but on the same terms, if he could be your guy, your number one wide receiver. Look at you, Ferrer. You don't have a number one wide receiver. You really don't. Not somebody that is 24 years old, who's just about to play his best football. 4-year deal. You could spend your draft pick somewhere else. Go with another guy who's not proven. Go ahead, make that pick, because you're not going to know. With this, you're getting CD Lamb. You know who the quarterback is. Dallas has a good offensive line. Dallas is a good scoring team. CD Lamb's going to get some points.
All right, we're done with this PSA of trying to pitch CD Lamb. Yeah.
You asked. Send me an offer. The best thing I can say is no. So what? Not a big deal.
Your starters are loaded, but oof, your bench does not look that good. But that's nitpicking. Yeah. Do you think you're gonna win by over 40?
Oh, I don't know. Probably not.
All right.
I think Walt's got a better team than you now.
Who?
Walt. I
Hmm.
think Walt has more potential.
You power rated him less than me, so I'm all right.
Yeah. For now. There's always next week.
I think the next matchup to talk about would be Zor and Fatchair.
Oh, let's see here. Let's bring up the old Zor here. Currently, Goff has 8.42 points. Greg's only actually predicted to win by 13 points as of right now. That threw me for a loop because he has Jared Goff up top and usually has Tua. That's weird.
Yeah, he switched it up.
Yeah, does Patrick Mahomes throw all over the Jets this week?
I don't know. I don't know if this is
I feel like they're teeter-tottering.
me. It just seems like the potential game where I feel like once a year the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. I don't want to say lay an egg, but they keep a game close, right? Like Tennessee in years past, the Colts another year. Is this the year where the Jets somehow don't crap the bed.
I think they're a misplay away from the defense going off because they seem so frustrated over there. I mean, dude, if you got Zach Wilson, does he not look like the worst quarterback you've ever seen? I mean, he doesn't even look like a quarterback.
Yeah, they got to do something, which
Yeah, I mean,
will be,
that defense plays their heart out, and then they got Zach Wilson. Like what?
it'll be Trevor Simeon soon enough, who is
I
on
mean,
Castleberry. So Castleberry is scooping up some QBs of the future
future. I
for
mean,
this season, later this year.
okay,
In case I were to lose Trevor Lawrence or Danny Dimes or
gotcha,
somebody.
gotcha.
So
Yeah,
yeah, is this Zor?
thanks.
You like that?
Uh, I think Greg scores more than 137. I think Rob's probably team's probably pretty accurate, but I think Greg scores more than 137.
Worth mentioning, we do have a 9:30 London game this week. Jaguars Falcons, so keep that in mind for
Oh, why do they always do that to them? I hate the London games. They're the worst scoring games. They're the worst scoring games. I
not this year.
I don't like Robinson now for this week, so maybe not. Maybe it is a little closer. Robinson going overseas and playing and his first year, and nobody goes over. You go over once a year. Some teams do, and it's a terrible game. It really is.
Rob needs a more well balanced team, and I can give him that. And so I'm just waiting.
Dude, are you talking to everybody on the podcast trying to get some trades going?
We need some more activity, man.
In all honesty, though, I mean, unless you're throwing in a first rounder, what are you giving up to where your team's going to be better than what they aren't? I
That's
mean,
the thing. I'm not sure if they're gonna be better, but I'm balancing out some other teams, and I'm just getting new blood in Castleberry.
so that's what confuses me. Like, do you want Patrick Mahomes? Like, do you want to trade Trevor Lawrence for Patrick Mahomes? Is that what you're hoping for? Like, that's not going to happen.
It's some of it is out there.
I know it's out there, but I mean,
There's more to it.
there's more to it.
There's more to it.
Oh, so you are trying to get Patrick Mahomes.
I don't know if trying, like actively trying, but I thought about it earlier. I may have sent something
I
that
already tried to get Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelsey, and I threw in first rounders and everything else this year, and Rob wouldn't do it. So good hats off to you, dude.
yeah, that's a lot of cap. I'm just going for Mahomes.
Yeah. Good luck.
Thanks,
I mean,
man.
Travis Kelsey's 33. Next year he's 34. I mean, what do you
Yeah, well, we'll see. I'd like to get something done with Aaron too, but I'm not really sure what that would entail. But yeah,
Aaron's a tricky one to trade with. I've tried to trade with him and I just never get anything going.
him and I have had some very easy and successful trades in the past. So a win for Zor, everything riding high. They get back on the winning ways.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay, so Fat Share falls to 1-3.
Who do you have as matchup of the week this week?
I think matchup of the week is Magnolia and Memphis.
Yeah, I agree. I thought you were gonna pick yourself, but okay.
No, that's matchup of the week. I think you could even go Maslin and Bolivar as nice, like what's the word, appetizer or
Nice power ranking struggle there, I think.
yeah. Myself and Carolina is a pivotal game, but it's nowhere near like a matchup of the week.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a low scoring game over there for Castleberry.
Whatever it takes to win.
We got a podcast going on, Frere. Not football.
Okay. All right. So are you saying you want to do my game then and then hit those two big ones?
I was gonna say we hit the Mass of Mud Dogs and Bolivar, and then we go to yours.
Cool. That works. Nice matchup here. You wonder if these, teams are gonna make any trades before this week, but kind of got to put that caveat in there, even for Rob's team, maybe Walt's team. There could be some wheeling and dealing before.
Dude, let the trades go. Let's talk about the matchup here. We have Donald, the Mud Dogs, and the Bolivar Bulldogs, Aaron's team. And I'm gonna call it right now. I'm looking at it. I like Jefferson this week. I like Puka this week. I like Brian Robinson in Philadelphia. I like that game. And I actually like Stroud versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, even though
I do too. Stroud's gonna play well. I like Stroud.
I think so. James Conner might fall off there with San Francisco, although they are getting a little cocky.
Yeah, I think the Steelers stubbed their toe this week, so I do like Stroud. You got to play Robinson. You're right, but it's not a good matchup at all. Honestly, do you have to play Robinson? He's got Palmer on his bench. I might try and get Palmer in there.
I mean, hey, do what he wants to do, but I like Robinson.
Would you put Robinson over Connor
Yeah.
and then put Palmer over Connor?
What is going on here? We have breaking news.
Do we?
Yeah.
Where?
Donald has just yet again proposed Joe Burrow and DK Metcalf to me for Josh Allen and CD Lamb.
Oh, so it's a proposal. I was thinking like some legit breaking news was happening. Okay.
That is breaking news to me for her.
Okay. A trade proposal. I got you.
But it was the same one from last week. I told him no. But
So
he took it before I could.
I do like Palmer this week, and then you also factor in that your opponent has Herbert. It's kind of like a twofer. So I think I would try and get Palmer in there. But yeah, who to take out entirely up to him, obviously, and whatnot. I I don't think Lamar plays well. I think Lamar has a bad game.
We'll see. I think Joe Burrow has a good game, but Herbert has a bad game.
I think Big Herb's fine. He'll do well. I'm a little concerned about Pacheco. Obviously, concerned about Burrow with his calf.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think his matchup might boil down to Javonte Williams.
I think it might boil down to Puka. I think Puka goes off again.
Probably.
I like him. I like him a lot. I'm gonna go with the Bolivar Bulldogs in this.
I am not, just because they've got some bad matchups. I don't think Lamar plays well. I don't know if Stevenson does much. I know they're only projecting 10 for Stevenson and 10 for Connor, but yeah, Robinson, tough matchup. I just, yeah, give me the Mud Dogs.
Okay.
You're taking Bolivar?
Taking Bolivar. Want to head over to the old Turd Nuggets?
Pivotal matchup, man. This is huge.
Mm-hmm.
I need to win. I feel kind of desperate. Seems I think if I lose this week, then probably start using that D word. Now it's like thirsty and hungry for trades.
So I didn't know this, but the 9:30 a.m. Game over in London. Trevor Lawrence, I do not like that matchup. I do not like that for you. You better hope Jordan Love stays 1 for 5 for 9 yards. Miles Sanders, questionable.
Yeah, he's gonna have that tag for maybe all season and whatnot, but he's been playing every week with it. We're good.
Does Calvin Ridley or Derrick Henry have a game this week?
Are they on my team this week?
I don't know because Calvin Ridley look good the first week. You look like, man, that was a great trade. And then nothing. I think that keeps up this week with Calvin Ridley because of the game, but
11 targets, 8 targets, 7 targets. I mean, it's still there. I'm not concerned at all. You're right. I mean, as of right now, and what we're seeing from Thursday Night Football, this is looking very good for me. I'm sure the Packers' second half team, if Jordan Love and Aaron Jones can turn it on, I'm going to be a little nervous.
yeah, it would be a little nervous. But they're only two touchdowns down, still second quarter.
Yep, and Detroit scored again.
I think Amari Cooper might go off this game. I think Zay Flowers has a chance. I do not see Mark Andrews doing much. I think London might be a bad start. Oh boy. You gonna keep Danny Dimes?
Danny Dimes is starting this week. Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
He's starting. Eckler's the one I'm not sure about.
Yeah, Eckler's a hard choice.
Is
I mean,
they
Kyrie. Is it Kyrie Williams?
Kyron? Yeah.
Kyron Williams.
Well,
You're
it's just if Eckler, they have a bye next week, so they could just rest Eckler.
yeah.
If Eckler's going to play, he's going to be in my lineup, obviously. But
Um,
I continue to get bit and unlucky with these schedules because if I bench Drake London for Eckler, well, Drake London's 9:30. Eckler's probably not going to be decided till after that game. So
yeah.
I'm getting the Amari Cooper Monday night treatment all over again. It's
Do you
ridiculous.
regret drafting Drake London?
The unluckiness that Castleberry has had to face so far this year. It's just adversity. We'll find a way through it.
Do you regret drafting Drake London?
No, we're fine. He's talented.
Okay. Um, man, I like that he's not starting Dak against New England. It's kind of a wild card there.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Purdy's a smart choice.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the first time I'm going to do it, but who are you picking?
I'm picking myself.
Really?
How many points? How many points does Fagan need to score to win?
110.
Ooh, I was gonna say 115. That's what I thought you would say.
Yeah. I would say that's probably I just do not Cincinnati's defense looked swarming last week. I don't know if Tennessee looks like they're dead in the water.
Yeah, Higgins should play well. I don't even think I need Danny Dimes to save me on Monday night. He's the only one in our matchup playing on Monday night, and I think I'll be all right.
They had 2 Monday night games, the Giants.
Is this their? They played Sunday night, week 1. I think this is their first
Oh,
Monday.
was it Sunday? Dallas versus
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, giving them the night games, man, that looks like a terrible decision on the NFL schedulers. You're going with yourself. I'm taking the Turd Nuggets. I like them.
love it.
I
All
like
right,
them.
cool,
I like them.
good, good. Like them to 0-4.
Currently, he's sitting at negative 1.64 points. So I'm actually giving you a point, a little almost two points here. So, oh
It's a
boy.
good start. It is a good start in Castleberry. So, yep. All right. I'm getting the win. You disagree. That's 2 disagreements on our 4 matchups so far. I'll be curious if we come to a third disagreement in what is the game of the week. Curious this game of the week between 2 strong teams, if this has any impact on next week's power rankings. Who knows?
Well, I'm going to say this. Start it off. Matt's got 2 points right now with Gibbs. I'm not. I'm kind of just, it is what it is. He'll probably match up with Harris, so not a big deal. Justin Fields. Justin Fields goes off this week. This is where his campaign starts to show that he's a starting quarterback. He goes up against the Denver Broncos. The Broncos defense looks terrible with a T, capital T.
What
Justin
goes off?
Fields
How
goes
many
off
fantasy points? What give me something here.
30 on
30 burger.
30 burger.
I'll take the under on that.
I know you would.
I'd be lucky to get 25.
I don't like Mike Evans against New Orleans. I do like Michael Thomas against Tampa Bay, though. I mean, I don't like Hopkins. I like Debo. If he plays, I'm not sure if he plays this week or not.
Can you call it out though? Matt is gonna have one person in 425 slot, and that's it, and he's done. All his team plays at one. You hate that,
I know I do.
or earlier.
Yeah, but I mean, most of his games are at 1-2.
But
And if
I'm
you're
buddy
looking at it,
buddy. He's got
yeah,
Geno
but if you're
Smith
looking at
moving
it for
up.
air, I mean, he's got Geno on a Monday night game, but I like Russell Wilson against the Chicago Bears defense, and I like Justin Fields against Denver's defense. So we could be talking about 70 points right there.
In the worst matchup of the year so far,
Yeah.
between
And he
Denver and
gets,
Chicago, there's gonna be one person watching that game, and it's Matt, because his
yeah,
quarterbacks are going head to head.
yeah. And I mean, that's kind of great for the position that he's in going against the Monarchs this week. I mean, that's the way the schedule falls. I mean,
Matchup.
I don't like I'm not a fan of Moster at Buffalo at 1. That could be kind of scary. But yeah, like it. I like Matt. And Matt doesn't even have Brees Hall in the lineup yet. I mean, Brees Hall, he's amazing. I mean, you seen him in the first game. I mean, the guy's just he's good.
But who would you put him in for?
You can't put him in. You can't put him in because their quarterback's terrible and that head coach will not say it. They're waiting for Aaron Rodgers to come back and coach the quarterbacks.
Yeah, and Brees Hall has 4 fantasy points in 2 weeks.
Yeah. I
That'd
mean,
be
it's
5.2, but you get the idea.
it's gonna happen. Zach Wilson cannot stay starting on that team. It can't happen.
I know Simeon, and I got him.
Yeah,
Anyone needs a QB?
that's fine. You can have him. I mean, if you're I'm gonna tell you this. You're in worse trouble if you spent $13 million on Danny Dimes and you literally can't wait for Trevor Simeon to come throw some touchdown passes for you.
Oh no, he's not going to see my lineup. I'm just excited to have some more QBs that could be some value, some assets.
Currently, right now on your roster, you have
I'm loaded at QB. I got too many.
2, 3, 4, 5. You have 7 quarterbacks.
If you count Richardson, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
6,
count
yeah, I'm fine. You're going to be calling. You're going to want that Devontae Adams O'Connell connection at some point.
Why? I don't want it. I have Deshaun Watson. Unless somebody gets hurt,
Exactly.
I'm good.
And once people get hurt, then they'll be coming to me.
I like Ritter, dude. Ritter's good. Me and you had a deal in place for you to get him, and you went back on it.
Yeah, we forgot about that. We never talked.
No, I didn't forget about it.
Yeah, you never pushed any.
You told me, and
Ritter
I
is not
quote
good.
this.
Come on.
You told me that you would trade him.
Oh, that's right. If I didn't get Mac Jones, that's right.
Yeah.
And I got Mac Jones. So yes.
No, as if you didn't get a quarterback that you wanted.
And I did, and I ended up getting him. Yeah. Dude, Magnolia wins this game. Enjoy being 3-0, Memphis, because you ain't making it to 4 now.
What's the score?
let's see. Magnolia, Hopkins and Jigba. Those two make me nervous. I don't feel good there. See if anyone on his bench you could put in instead. Dare you try Jalen Warren? No, he doesn't really have much. Oh, Downs? Do you try to play Josh Downs? I'll say Magnolia wins by more than 10.
So are you saying like 130 to 120? What's the score here?
Oh, man. I'll give Magnolia more. I guess, dang, that means then Memphis might score more. 140. 140 wins this matchup.
Okay. I got Matt scoring 150 points this week. Between 140 to 150.
Yeah, he's not scoring 150. I'll take the under.
I
Although
think
his QBs could go off against each other.
I
That's
think
fair.
his QBs go off. I think Michael Thomas goes off. Yeah, I think Matt scores between 140 and 150 points this week.
The way it's been going for Matt, let's see. Two or not two. Tyreek's probably going to leave the game at halftime, and some other ridiculous thing's going to happen, and Memphis just gets lucky again.
Who does Miami play this week?
Buffalo.
Buffalo, yeah. So we'll see how their defense does, but their defense is pretty good.
Yeah, I think the Bills might actually win that game.
So we're divided on all these teams, and I feel like it's because you were number 9 on the power rankings.
I forgot all about
I feel
that.
like we're pretty close. No, you didn't. No, you
Forgot
didn't.
all that.
So if you win this week, that puts your team at 2-2. Puts you kind of back in the playoff hunt. But what does your team need to get into the playoff hunt?
I'm gonna make the playoffs. My team just needs health and luck to turn around.
What health do they need?
Austin Eckler.
So that's your Austin Eckler done.
I think he's the only one that.
He's the only player that's hurt. So your whole team's healthy, just not Austin Eckler.
I mean, it's a big piece.
I mean, Nick Chubb was a big piece to mine, but
Yeah, but
not
your
one.
team was in a much better spot than mine. I mean, Derrick Henry's RB18. Can you imagine once he gets going?
If
No, when he gets going.
Ferrer, he's got a lot of miles. You traded for him with a lot of miles.
No, he's 29 years old. We're good.
You're hoping.
No,
You're hoping.
I has no problem. What do you mean? He played the Browns and the Saints, two good run defenses.
Okay. So what does Derrick Henry do this week?
Against the Bengals, I'm not sure what he's done in the past against the Bengals. I'm sure it'll be just, again, the way things are going for me, I'm sure it'll be a mediocre game. And I'm probably going to trade him and he's going to pop off.
So is that your trade pitch right there? As soon as I trade him, he's gonna go off. Trust me.
Yeah, I mean, dude,
I'll trade you for him.
my team is nice.
I'll trade you Nick Chubb for him.
I just got to get it to come together. So yeah, man, I'm fine. Yeah, we'll be all right. The big win, big win.
Number 9 on the power rankings for Air, not looking good.
Should anyone be hitting the panic button?
Yeah, Castleberry.
Osnaburg did, and they made a trade. So if Castleberry hits the panic button, hopefully then they'll make a trade.
Well, Castleberry already said they're not making a trade with their first rounder, so
That doesn't mean anything.
well, I don't know what you're gonna get because you're gonna have to give.
There's plenty to give.
Just looking at your team, I just don't. There's nobody I really want from it. Like I honestly thought about asking you for a trade, and I just went down your roster, and I'm like, yeah, I would like Amari Cooper. That'd be cool, but he just doesn't put me in the same category as Nick Chubb.
Dude,
I
you're
mean,
also talking about your team, which is stacked and loaded. There's you and Greg have these rosters that you can go through other teams and be like, yeah, they're not going to help me out because you're
Rare in 2018, where was I? I was 0-3.
yeah, and then you got to win.
Why are you coming at me? Because I got a good roster. I mean, would I want Kyron Williams? I like him. He seems all right. But other than Anthony Richardson, Kyron Williams, and Amari Cooper, I think everybody else is kind of untouchable on your team. T. Higgins, I don't want a 4-year guy that's third on the depth chart.
Third on the depth chart. Oh my gosh, the best wide receiver too on it. No.
Dude, I'd say Tyler Boyd.
What?
You're paying this guy $12 million on a 4-year deal, and he's the number 42 wide receiver.
Exactly. Once these guys start performing, you're gonna have this all of a sudden.
Month-
Wow, Casper's got some
If,
really good players on
if
it.
they start performing.
Yeah, okay.
You drafted Trevor Lawrence 2 years ago, and he's the number 20 quarterback. You
Yeah,
drafted him first overall.
3 weeks in, he had a hell of a season last year. Like you're honestly, some of your downplay talk is probably helping my trade value because people are like, "What is Jay Bourne? My gosh."
Drake had the 1-1 pick. He's got running back number 9.
Okay, you're proving my point on why my team's not scoring. They're just not producing. They're just not producing. I've got studs. I've got the talent. They just need to
Or
come.
they're not studs anymore. That's my point. Derrick Henry, running back 18. He scored 17 points against the Chargers. That's probably one of the worst run defenses he's going to play against. I mean, the guy's got the Bengals, the Colts, Baltimore, Atlanta, the Steelers, Tampa Bay, who still got a decent defense. The next decent game he could have is against Jacksonville at number 11.
Okay, sure. Did you
Week
not see?
11.
Did you not see what Zach Moss just did to Baltimore last week?
That's Zach Moss.
Yeah, Derrick Henry's that dude. That's gonna be nice.
Okay. We'll see, I guess.
Yeah, that's comical. Thank you for
Hey.
helping.
You're paying Calvin Ridley. What are you paying Calvin right now? 17?
Yeah, he's pretty cheap.
Number 40 wide receiver. I mean, you're paying these guys so much money and they're not even in the top 10. Amari Cooper at 14, he's the number 18 wide receiver. That's your best wide receiver. Mark Andrews right now, top. I know he's a top 5 paid tight end. He's the number 11 tight end.
You're telling me something I don't, or I already know, man. My team is underproducing. Or wait, no, sorry, you were gonna say Mark Andrews stinks. Go ahead.
No, he doesn't. I mean, he's going to come out of it, and Austin Eckler is going to finally come out of it. But what I'm saying is, okay, so you still have Drake London who's scoring. He dropped a goose egg one week, but he's got 15 and 14. So let's say he scores 8 points a game. Well, Austin Eckler comes in, he scores 15 points a game. That's only 7 more points. Yeah, sometimes he goes off. I'd agree with that, but I'm just looking, man, and it's just there's just so many players you could have got. I mean, you got Danny Dimes, but you could have had Kyler Murray.
He's
Yeah, it
not
would have been
even
rough.
playing.
He'll be playing in week 6.
No. You were
Yeah.
talking about points scored, and you literally just said you paid money for somebody who's in my starting lineup scoring me 15 points a game.
I told you Kyler Murray's going to come back and he's going to score more points than Daniel Jones,
No.
and Danny Dimes, and it's going to happen. Coming into week 4, you better hope he produces because old Kyler Murray's coming.
We need to end this pod before it gets worse for you.
Me?
My goodness.
Dude, if anybody's trading, they better get Mims, Richardson, or give up a little bit for Trevor Lawrence from your team. That's it. The rest of them are old. They're
Yeah,
old.
so old.
Unless you're getting Kyron Williams, who was a lucky draft. Or did you pick him up? Or did you draft him from free agency?
I nominated him, yeah.
Yeah. A lucky nomination.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, you said
Garage beer is full of haterade tonight, man.
you told
Jeez.
Aaron that he got lucky getting Puka. He was 1 or 2 for you, and you just happened to pick the lesser of them.
Yeah. Kyron played well last year. He had something to
So
go off of.
how is he lucky and you're not?
Puka was an unknown rookie and drafted in
Or
the first
maybe he
round.
just got the guy that he wanted and it was just a good pick.
It's
Maybe he didn't get lucky. Maybe he just did the research.
it's a good pick and it's also luck. Like you need to have both. You can't have one without the, that's fine.
You'd be a little higher on the horse if you had Puka. If you would have got Puka, you'd be looking pretty good right now.
For sure. A lot of teams would be better if they had Puka.
Well, yeah. But I'm saying you specifically. You wouldn't be hitting the panic button like you are right now. You're biting your fingernails. You're getting nervous. You don't know what to say.
You're driving me nuts. I'm imagining a lot of listeners are feeling the same way.
All right.
What else you got? Anything else to end on to wrap this one up?
No, I don't have anything to go on to wrap it up. I'm ready to watch this game.
It's a beatdown, unfortunately.
They'll come back.
It's like 24-3, I think.
What? What's just 17-3 when I looked?
Yep, 24-3, and the Lions have the ball.
Wow. Jared Goff going off for Greg, huh?
Monty has 2 touchdowns, but I think it's on Greg's bench
Ooh.
because he's just so loaded that he can play whoever he wants. But he did lose last week. No, there's a lineup fail right there, huh? Godwin should have swapped him and Waddle, so then he could have played Monty.
Christian Watson is playing this game.
Yeah, I didn't feel good about that one.
No, first game back, no.
You gotta give some shade. Like Greg, give up on Godwin. Like let's get him out of your lineup. Oh no, but I'm sure you got some positive. We only talk bad about Castleberry.
What are you talking about?
You're pretty quiet there. You didn't want to say anything.
No, I was looking at Laporta, who he got in the 3rd round, and he's been tearing it up all year.
Yes, he has. Looks good.
And I wanted him, but I didn't get him. That sucks.
Swing and a miss. Of course, you wanted him because he played
Always, of course I did.
well. Yeah, they played well. Jayborn wanted him.
Well, who doesn't? I was gonna try and ask for him in that trade, but I didn't. Should have.
Well, we did darn good tonight, time wise and everything like that. Still wrapped up right around 9:30. Anything, dude? I can't wait for next week, man. It's so much better to do a pod when you come off a victory.
Yeah, I know. Especially who you lost to, it's just hard, you know.
Yeah, I come back, put Carolina to 0-4.
I
And that
always get I always get so mad on the podcast when I lose to you in the regular season. And then I gotta come on the podcast and it's just shameful, you know. Just like you just hate your team.
it's tough. I forgot we were gonna have a call in this week, and I forgot to follow through with that. So we'll do that
Yeah,
next.
I was gonna try and go in, but I didn't know when we were gonna do it or anything.
Yeah, we can start trying to get some people on next week, and maybe next week we'll do a little segment of who should be hitting the panic button. You know, if Fedoni goes to 0-4, what does Carolina do?
Yeah, we were a little bit off topic and everything this week, but we just kind of switched days. That was
Yeah,
for Eric's fault too.
should be good. Yeah, family left town. It was a good trip. Uh, Seems fine to be back on Wednesday next week, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, we like our Wednesday days. We're not trying to watch football and do the podcast. And usually I'm not trying to cook right before the podcast either. So
And already have some scores going on during the games, persuading who we think's going to win.
yeah. Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
But we appreciate everybody listening. It's all in good fun. Unless you're Ferrer and you're mad.
Get a win this week. And we'll look forward to the pod next week.
What if you don't get a win?
Then we'll have a little segment, panic button. You know, what should some panic level be for some teams? We'll hear about that with the weekly rankings.
If you start losing every week, this podcast is gonna get bad.
Or annoying.
Yeah, probably annoying. It's always annoying when you're losing, isn't it?
Just depending who I'm sharing the screen with.
Appreciate everybody for listening.
Yeah, have a wonderful weekend. Good luck this week to everyone who's not facing Castleberry. We'll do it again next week.
Don't stop believing.
Don't stop believing.